Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to EliteHealthOnline.com. Today, we have a special podcast around a couple of different topics. Today, we'll be talking about semaglutide first. We have guests with us from Drug Crafters Pharmacy here in Frisco, Texas. We have Natalie, Vice President of Sales and Marketing. Thanks for being here, Natalie.
Thank you for having us.
And then we have Aaron, the Chief Lead Pharmacist there at Drug Crafters. Welcome, Aaron.
Hi, thanks.
Awesome. So thank you guys again for being here. And I think this will be a topic that a lot of folks are very, very interested in because, as we know, we're approaching the holiday season here in 2021. And a lot of folks will be looking for some solutions here at the New Year's resolution timeline to get those extra pounds off, maybe from the COVID timeframe or just that they've had even prior to that. So let's start with, if we could, what exactly, Aaron, if you would start us off with, what is semaglutide? There's a lot of folks that probably recognize it under the brand name, but tell us all about first of all, what is semaglutide and where did it come from and how long has it been around?
Yeah, sure. So it's relatively new on the market. It is a peptide that it's being used currently for diabetes type 2, and then also it's currently now being used for weight loss also. It's a peptide that is going to mimic glucagon 1 type peptide. And so it's going to help your body with metabolism and that sort of thing whenever you're struggling with weight loss.
Okay. So is it doing anything to speed up the metabolism, or is it lowering blood sugar, regulating, your insulin response? Like, can you
Sure.
elaborate on how is it acting on the metabolism?
Yeah, sure. So it's helping to control your appetite. And then it also is also helping with insulin production and with your body's, production of insulin itself.
Okay. So when you say it helps with appetite reduction, similar to phentermine or stronger?
No, it's different. Phentermine is more of working with your norepinephrine. This one is more going to be targeting the actual glucagon receptor itself.
Okay. And for the layperson, what exactly does that translate to? Like, what would they experience? Obviously, less maybe desire to eat,
Sure.
overeat, but also will they experience a core body temperature increase, anything that speeds up metabolism?
Um, Most patients don't actually feel anything different.
Okay.
With some of your appetite suppressants like phentermine, that sort of thing, you definitely can notice dry mouth. You can also notice, the increase in heart rate, that sort of thing. With the semaglutide, no, if anything, you do notice some nausea, but since it's just a once a week dosing, which is one of the great things about semaglutide, since it's just once a week, most patients, don't notice wouldn't have any effect of the increased heart rate and that sort of thing.
Okay. And when you say once a week, we're talking about a sub-Q injection, correct?
Yes, sir. It's
So
a sub.
similar to the way an insulin is given with a diabetic. Right?
Yes, sir. So it's a
Okay.
subcutaneous injection. It's once a week. We do recommend that patients do the injection at the same time each week. Morning time is usually best. With any other kind of injection, it's going to be once a week, same time. Sorry, I just repeated myself. And then when you do the injection, the nausea, can usually last maximum an hour. We are working on a different medication to possibly add to it that will help decrease the nausea altogether. And that will be something that we will hopefully have out in the near future. And you do start at a low dose to begin with, and then you increase that dosage over the course of a course of 8 weeks. So the first 2 weeks are the same, and then you increase it until the 8 week dosage. You're at the same dosage that you would be on continually.
Okay. And Natalie, I know as Vice President of Sales and Marketing, you're out talking to clients regularly. What are you seeing in the market from a standpoint of what are physicians and clinics? What's the feedback been like as far as the type of outcomes that doctors are experiencing with their patients?
So, like Aaron said, semaglutide is brand new for us. However, it's brand new from a compounding perspective. However, the manufactured brands, which are they contain the same exact molecule as semaglutide. The manufactured brands are Ozempic and Wegovy, and doctors have been using those for years. And
Mhm.
the issue, they've been using those for weight loss. But the issue with those is that they are incredibly expensive. They cost upwards close to $1,400, and the and
For what
insurance
time? Not to cut you off, Natalie, but for when you say $1,400, for what time frame are we talking about here?
for like a month's supply for the
Oh,
same
wow.
type of dosing that we're giving that lasts almost 2 months. Theirs may last closer to 2 months. However, insurance hardly covers those. So for doctors to be able to have this in their back pocket as an option for patients is huge because it's much more affordable. And, the only difference is the delivery mechanism.
Yeah,
Instead
and
of having
certainly.
a pen,
Right.
electronic pen that costs, $800 to $1,400. We're doing sub-Q needles and a vial.
Yeah.
So we're really
Yeah.
excited about that.
So yeah, alcohol, swipe the top, clean it off, put a little diabetic syringe in, draw out the medication and inject. And of course we're selling it for like 1/3 of that, probably 1/4 of that price at our clinic today. So
Right.
that's certainly encouraging for folks that are trying to, watch the budget. So,
Exactly.
but as far as outcomes, Natalie, or maybe Aaron, this is a better question for you, but what can a person expect to experience as far as the amount of weight loss? Let's say someone is 50 pounds overweight or wants to lose somewhere between 50 and 75 pounds. With semaglutide, what type of outcome should they expect in 3 months, 6 months? What do you typically see?
I can take this one. So with the research that they have of the manufactured ones, they have noticed that patients can lose up to 6 to 12% of their body weight. Now, of course, that's going to be with a good diet,
Right,
exercise. Everything. It's not gonna work on its own, but
right.
definitely with a regular healthy diet and exercise, they've noticed up to 6 to 12% of their body
Okay.
weight. Of course, this isn't going to be for someone who has 10% 10% body fat. I mean, this
Right.
is going to be mainly for the patients that do struggle with weight loss, do struggle with being overweight and obese. This can drastically help them with their weight loss journey.
So a good example, and a lot of our patients are in either one of the two categories, right? They're either, maybe where like I'm at 16 to 18% body fat, would love to be 15 or 12, right? This isn't that product, right? This truly is for someone who is, 25% body fat plus, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And anything that Natalie or Aaron, I think this is for you probably, but Natalie, you may know this as well. Um, what can this be compounded with? I know we have an entire menu of weight loss products, phetamine, different blends of phetamine. We have weight loss stacks, that sort of thing. Is this used alone, or can this be used in combination with other weight loss products?
It can be definitely used in combination. Even though it is a peptide, you can add other peptides with it. You can add phentermine with it. I mean, the only thing that I would caution patients is if they are diabetic, it does increase your blood glucose. So with a decrease of blood glucose, you can risk adding it to other diabetes type of medications. But
Mm.
as far as the patients that are doing hormone replacements and also do have a peptide in their regimen, it's definitely not a problem to combine those. Yes, sir.
Awesome, awesome. And so, if you would kind of like give us an idea, who's the ideal patient for this? Like, what do they look like? What's the profile of the person that would be a good fit for the semaglutide?
Aaron, or do you want
Go
to
ahead.
go?
Yeah, you're good.
I was going to say somebody who wants to lose a significant amount of weight.
Okay.
Anybody who wants to lose 10 to 200 pounds or even more.
Okay.
But somebody who is struggling with with weight loss, that just needs an extra push.
Right. Okay. And then, Aaron, you kind of started to touch on any side effects, but if you would just kind of, in summary, kind of go through what would be typical, what percentage of the patients experience that, kind of give the potential consumer here just a little bit of information about what to expect in the way of
Sure.
side effects, if any.
Of course. So the main side effects that we see are mainly GI. So nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. I think those are listed with everything.
And those are common across the board with weight loss medication.
Right.
So it's not just semaglutide.
Right. Sure. I think nausea is probably going to be the biggest one that we see. That's why I was saying that we are working on adding something to that particular medication. With the nausea, it's not something that, since it's just a weekly injection, it's not something that, you're going to experience every morning or anything like that. It's just at the initial point of injection for about an hour or so. And then other side effects, like I said earlier, it can lower your blood glucose, and be cautious with that. And then other than that, with any injection, there is always the injection site reaction that, any patient would have when they do an injection of medicine.
Yeah. But no dry mouth like you experience with the phetamine or, some of the other things. So that's good. And a little bit of nausea and those sort of things for an hour is tolerable, right? It's not like metformin, which can be completely disruptive for endless days. It's unbearable. So that's awesome. Well, anything, Natalie or Aaron, that we didn't cover that you guys want to add? Obviously, this compounded product is the same in all from a scientific standpoint as the manufactured. It's in a delivery system that is not in a convenient pen. You do have to draw the medication up, but we're talking about a fourth of the price, maybe a third. We have it available now within our clinic, and it's on our website. People can go there and find out lots of information. But anything else you'd add around this to educate the consumer before we close for the day?
Yeah, sure. And I think with drug crafters and hopefully every pharmacy, we're always available to answer questions. We're always here. We do consultations on semaglutide on a daily basis, so we're really very knowledgeable, and we can help you with any questions that you have, or if you need any guidance on how to do a self-injection. If you've never done a self-injection, that's definitely things that we cover and that we discuss with patients on a regular basis. So always feel free to give us a call when we can help you out.
That's great. I did think of one thing there as you were closing. With a lot of the peptides, you do need to cycle off. For example, CJC 1295. We recommend 4 to 6 months. You could go longer. There's nothing magical about any particular date, but we do think it's a good idea to cycle off for a period of time every now and then. With obviously, it's going to depend, I think, a little bit on how much weight someone has to lose. But with this peptide, is there any need to go off after a quarter, or can you stay on this until you get to the desired weight? Any data around that or anything you know about?
I haven't seen any data that says you need to cycle off. I can look into that for further information, but I haven't seen anything that states that a cycle is necessary.
Okay, excellent.
But it is since it is since you do increase over time, that helps with patients be able to regulate it a little bit better also.
Yep, great. Well, guys, thanks for being with us today. We really appreciate it. For those folks that were listening, take a visit to elitehealthonline.com. Check us out. We're full-fledged wellness, anti-aging. We do hormone replacement therapy for men and women. We've got an entire menu of wellness and anti-aging solutions, as well as hormone replacement therapy and a ton of weight loss stuff. So check us out. Let our physicians help you out today at elitehealthonline.com. We can have you on the phone, completed lab work, and ready to see a doctor within 3 days. So, and then we deliver product typically with drug crafters and our other pharmacy partners. We'll deliver those medications usually within 48 hours. So literally within 5 to 6 days, you can be off and running with your weight loss solution and get on your way to being healthier. Thank you guys for being with us, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Stay. See you later.
Thank you.